Welcome everyone to another video of Head Showered Shave Well. This is James and it's a madhouse this morning. Can you hear the kids downstairs? I don't know if it's coming across, but they're listening to Madness, Our House. What an awesome song. Anyways, I've got something really special today. For those of you that watched my last video, I used a single edge razor. And it's the first time I'd ever used a single edge razor, and I used an Everready 1912. If you don't know that razor, look at the previous video or Google it, Everready 1912. It's a patented razor from around the 1930s. Unbelievable. I could not believe the quality of the shave. And I've got another single edge razor in my collection, and I can't stop playing up downstairs. In the middle of our street, our house. Sorry, I've got another single edge razor. Another vintage single edge razor that I've just really started to learn about. Now this particular one is made by Valet. And this is the one we're going to use today. And this is an awesome machine. This one is what they call an AutoStrop. So essentially, stropping is where you sharpen or you tune a razor with a leather. You typically see that with straight razors, but this particular razor was designed to have a similar tuning effect, and it's quite a complex razor with lots of beautiful engineering mechanisms on it. Absolutely amazing. I'll show you. So this is the addressable razor. So as you can see, you've got like a open comb design here, which is lovely. You've got the blade in situ there, as you can see it. So you've got a nice, this is it here, and it gets housed in this mechanism here, which is amazing. I'm going to try and show you this because it's so incredible. You've got this back lever here, which pushes down and releases this mechanism here. Now that is designed to hinge backwards and forwards, because what you're essentially doing is pulling a leather strap through this roller and guide system at the back. And you never want to pull into the blade, you want to pull away from the blade to sharpen it. So you pull this way, and then once you've done that, you flip it, and then you pull the lever the other way. Unfortunately, I don't have the leather strop itself, but you can get them. But what an incredible, beautifully engineered design. Look at those little cogwheels moving in unison. Unbelievable design, but how you house the blade is just genius. It's got like a little hinge plate, which is beautiful, and then there's little punch holes that come through from the top. If you could just make them out either side of my finger, those punch holes hold what is, I'll try and show you this, what is the blade in situ. So this is the blade here, and it says, well, it's punched out, but it does say Valet on it. But where you've got the, probably a bit easier to see now, where you've got the punched out holes on Valet, they come through on the other side and provide anchor points. So it's a really neat design, a very extravagant, really engineered design, which is just beautiful. I mean, that just clips back so nicely. Unbelievable. Actually, I need to just sit that blade slightly better. There we go. I might even have it back to front. In fact, I think I do. So let's just get that right. There we are. That sits lovely now. So that's in place. We shut the hinge gate. Did you hear that click? Beautiful. And then that whole hinged mechanism flips back over, and then with your lever at the back, you engage the blade, and that stops it being open. But also what that does is it allows you ever such a slight, if you hinge that down, you can actually expose the angle of the blade, so you can make it more aggressive. So it's like an early version of an adjustable razor. I'm going to use it in its fully fixed position today, but I mean, I've gone through that really quickly, but what an unbelievable, amazing razor. Now this particular one, having done some research, is what they call the Model C. Now they started making these from 1922. And they made a special version of this called the $1 Million Razor. And what stood that particular one apart was the fact that this lever at the back to release the blade is serrated. And this one is. So this was made in 1928 and it's $1 million Model C. Valet AutoStrop would be the official. But this particular one was made in England, which makes it really special because I didn't find much detail. You can see that because on the inside of this, it does say, you probably can't see it, but it does say, it says Valet Safety Razor made in England. Beautiful. I cannot wait to use it. So with the experience of the single razor on the last shave, I was so blown away with its performance that I'm expecting decent things from this, but I don't know whether it will be as good as not. But in terms of just having that engineering classic, look at that, 1920s razor with that level of engineering, and you know, other than some scuff marks on what I think is nickel plating, although it does look quite hard wearing, other than a few sort of erosions of the material plating, this is in amazing condition and the engineering looks as on point now as it ever would have. So I'm really, really excited about this. I can't wait to use that. So I'm going to get ready. We'll talk about the other soft products and things that I'm going to use as we go through. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the shave. Right, here we go. I've got my head showered. So my skin is prepared. It's softened. It's moisturized with the water. We're ready to rock, baby. So we're today going to use, let's have a look, the Sandalwood Pro Raso. This is the dark red version. Beautiful product. I've been leaving this in some hot water, so we've just collect the bloom off that, and that we can use to lay down a nice initial pre-shave barrier on the head. It really helps blooming because you just soften up the soap and it allows the pickup from the brush just to be so much quicker and easier. And we're going to be using my Omega ball brush. This particular one is a much smaller version. I can't remember the exact name, I do apologise. Kind of matching really, but this particular one is really stiff and really scritchy. It's much smaller than the other ball brush that I've got from Omega, but really, really lovely to use nonetheless. So we're going to start putting some soap into the brush. Here we go. Woohoo! So excited to be using the AutoStrop today. First time. My mind got blown away, like I said, with the single edge razor I used last time out, and I mean, this is, look at this, unbelievable. I just got so blown away last time with that single edge razor, that Ever-Ready 1912. Now, I've done a bit of a read up on it, and a lot of people really loved that razor, and a lot of people were citing it on some forums as their favourite vintage razor, which surprised me. I'd never really looked into them before. I'd always really focused on the Gillette stuff. But that Ever-Ready 1912 is absolutely unbelievable. So my thoughts on single edge razors have just gone through the roof, and to kind of half remember and realise I had another single edge razor in the collection was just so exciting. Much different. This one takes a different blade, and from what I can understand, the blades weren't as good as the Gem Personas in the Ever-Ready, but still, I just love the design of it. It's got, as you saw, that open comb style to it, and it's just so beautifully engineered. And for it to come from the 1920s, I just, you know, for it to still be in supreme, you know, other than metal plating faded in certain areas or worn down, should I say. You know, it's in amazing condition, and we just don't make things like that anymore. So it's beautiful to have them. Let's get a bit more. Proraso soaps in whatever format they come just are incredible. So easy to lather. They're just a joy to use. A bit more moisture in here and a bit more soap. Let's really try and build this up. Lovely. I used to shave my head every day, and I kind of realised that I've got quite sensitive skin, and unfortunately, if I do it every day, I end up with sort of nicks and bumps and things like that, and I still get them, but I find if I just leave it a couple of days, then I just enjoy the shave so much more. Lovely. Beautiful. I think that's going to be perfect. Sorry, let's get a bit lovely and peaky. See that? Beautiful. Right, here goes. Really excited about this. Here we are. The Valet AutoStrop Razor. This is the Model C $1 million version, made in England. Beautiful. Can't wait. Let's start behind the ears. Nice and light. When you don't know what to expect from a razor, just take it super easy. A lot of the confidence that you build up in doing your shaving with razors that you know just goes super light to begin with. That felt really smooth. I don't think this is going to be aggressive in the same way that the Everready 1912 was, but I'm hoping it's going to give a good shave. The engineering on it is so amazing. I just want to love it. But something's got to shave well in order to love it properly, right? Okay, there's the first pass, or the first cutting in. Not bad, not bad. Right, let's go with the grain. Straight away I can feel that blade just isn't as efficient as the 1912, but it's still cutting. Now, we've got 3 passes to make this good, so let's use them. It feels very mild. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You can see the comb marks from the razor. The real test is going to be going across and against the grain, as we know, but at the moment this feels incredibly mild. I don't know, it's early days at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, this could be a great daily shaver. That's not going to be, it's got to be very kind on the skin, put it that way. We shall see, people. Right, there we go. That's the first pass. It's getting some stuff, look, so it's not doing nothing, it's just feels quite gentle. I can still feel a fair amount of hair there, but it is doing its thing. So let's continue. Let's do another Another cycle, another pass I should say. Let's go across the grain, but let's build up that soap again. It's a very subtle sandalwood smell, this Progresso soap, I have to say. Very subtle, but lovely. The quality of the lather in the soap is just amazing. That's really what Progresso are all about for me. You've got the Woods and Spice Progresso, which is really pungent, and you've got the menthol mint one, which is just mint heaven, menthol heaven. It's like taking a shower in the frozen wilderness, but this one is quite subtle. I quite like it. It's something different. Right, we're going to go across the grain now. Let's see what that brings. Really not sure how much that's cutting through, but let's keep it going. Let's continue. Right, there we go. So that's the end of the second pass now, and it is going down. It is doing something, but it's taking its time. It's very, very mild razor. I tell you, I just mentioned a few minutes ago how I've gone from daily shaving to expending it out. That potentially gives me a daily option. There's hair coming out, I tell you, because if you could see this sink, goodness. Right, let's go. I've got a feeling we're going to need more than 3 passes on this, but you know what? Who cares? When you enjoy razor shaving like I do, traditional wet shaving in this manner, the excuse to do more of it, it's nothing to complain about. It's just a lovely experience. Okay. Pass number 3, against the grain. Right, let's see how this goes. Okay, there we go. Wow. That hasn't gone baby butt smooth. Let's just call it for what it is straight away. But it needs a fourth pass, but it is even all the way round. Let's do that 4th pass. Just to to confirm that is a brand new blade. Absolutely brand new blade. So it's not that I've got an antique razor and an antique blade still in there whatsoever. What I might do is just, like I suggested earlier, just tweak that down a tiny bit and see if that, we're going to go against the grain again, and see if that just helps to, well, that feels different. I've just exposed that blade a tiny bit more, which is very easy to do and what it was designed for. Much better, but this is a slow burn. What can I say? This is a slow burn razor. Who knows, maybe I've got a dud blade, I don't know, but it is. Oh, that is so much better. So what I've done is I've just tightly, get your words out, I've just slightly tweaked the exposure on that blade with that hinge that I showed you, that serrated hinge, and it has given me a lot more cutting power. I think for a face shave you can just leave it as standard, but as you often find, these head shaves can just be, that's much better. You can find these head shaves are a lot more thicker haired, although my beard looks thick and wiry, in reality my beard hair just isn't as thick as my head. Well, in certain places anyway, where it thins out at the top, it cuts through nice and easy. Let's not kid anyone. Very nice. It's going to be quite a long video this, so I do apologise, but it's worth it. It's so nice. I love to think about people. Well, hey, let's consider the person or people that have used this razor down the years. Who are they? When it was bought in the 1920s, the late 1920s, I suspect, where did they live? It was made in England, so I presume it was bought in England, but where did they live? What did they do? Who were they? What's their story? That is much better. That is much better. So I'll just show you that again. Beautiful. And you know what? Actually, that is a genuine safety razor. That razor is almost a very good beginner's vintage. So what I did, if you remember this loading mechanism here, you lower it and that allows it to hinge up to replace the blade. But actually what you can do is you can just tweak it down so it's still held, but what it does is it just increases the angle of the blade exposure. Just increases it, so it gives you a bit more openness. That's what we had to do really, but I'm cool with that. and I'm happy with that as a shave now. I think that's great. And I think that's going to come in handy if I want to shave my head and I'd shaved it the day before and I don't want to over irritate, or if I just fancy a really mild shave. Why not use that vintage machine? Let's use the trusty Allen block and see what feedback we get. Yeah, there we go. Look, as suspected, absolutely nothing. Nothing, which is a real positive. That means, yeah, even at the back where I always feel a slight sting, there's absolutely nothing. So although I've got a damn fine shave in the end with 4 passes and an exposure on that blade, there's other razors that need 4 passes. If I'd have maybe exposed that blade a bit more in the beginning, then maybe I would have been all right with 3. But I tell you, in terms of feedback and irritation, there's absolutely nothing. What a great beginner's vintage. What a great starting point. Brilliant. Right. Oh, fantastic. I think to finish off today, we'll go with something else classic. Haven't used tobacco in a while. Ah, welcome to my nan's bathroom. Ah, that just smells divine. Tobacco original. Just get it. Let's pile this on. Ah, love it. Absolutely no discomfort or irritation loading that on at all. That was a great shave. That is an irritation-free shave to a damn fine standard. I look good, I feel good, I smell good. Really happy with that. So the star of the show, not as aggressive as the ever-ready 1912 single-edge razor, we know that now, but still, in its own right, a design and engineering classic, and with a slight tweak to expose a bit more blade, an effective damn fine shave razor. Love it. People, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Apologies that that was a slightly longer one than normal, but I'll see you again in a few days where we'll try something else and hopefully learn something new. So this is James from Head Showered, Shave Well, signing out. Look after yourself. See you soon.